Hi, this is Melanie for Pardesi Reviews, and I'm here to do a film review of the Telugu film Evaru, starring Adivi Sesh. If you're new to Pardesi Reviews, I do film reviews and trailer reactions of Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, and Hindi cinema. I saw Gudachari last year, and it was one of my favorite films of the entire year. I was blown away that Adivi Sesh wrote the script, acted in it. Like, he just made such an impression on me. And also just his whole story that he grew up in America and then he's gone to India to make all these films. I love it. I would be interested in any film, any project that he was going to do next. This particular film, I think I had seen the trailer in the theater in front of something else, but it didn't have subtitles. But I could gather from the trailer without subtitles that it was some sort of mystery thriller thing. There was a murder. I kind of get the vibe of it, and you saw him, he was a cop, I guess. That's all I knew. I thought I had done a trailer reaction, but I guess I never did. But anyway, somebody just asked me yesterday, but I just went ahead and saw the movie anyway, because all I need to know is that Adivi Sesh is in it, and I'm there. So this film was not written by him. It's actually an adaptation of a Spanish film called The Invisible Guest. I don't know that they promoted that. I didn't realize what it was. They used the Spanish title, which is something like Contra Tiempo. I don't know. Anyway, I saw they did acknowledge that it was an adaptation in the opening credits. I'm like, that kind of sounds familiar. And then it wasn't until I got to the very end that I realized this was the same Spanish film that the Hindi film Badla, starring Amitabh Bachchan and Taapsee Pannu. It came out earlier this year and is already now on Netflix within the last month. But this film, even if it has the same origins of this foreign Spanish film, they take the story and adapt it in very different ways. And so when I got to the end, I'm like, oh yeah, now I see the essence was sort of the same, but there were so many details that were changed in the plot. Even if you've seen the other one, you don't know exactly what's going to happen, and there's still a lot of twists. Adivi Sesh, I thought, was pitch perfect. He was so good. The origin, what you find out at the beginning, you see this sort of crime scene, that there's been a murder of a police officer. But the woman who shot him, you see her being hounded by press and so forth, paparazzi. And she gives a statement that you can see that she has bruises, that she has scratches. And she claims that she is a victim of rape and that in self-defense, she shot this man. Then there's this intimate conversation that supposedly this police officer named Vikram that her lawyer has hired she's talking to on the phone, is going to come talk to her about the case and help her prepare for what the prosecution might come after her with. And from the beginning, so Adivi Sesh plays this cop named Vikram, and from the beginning you can tell all he seems to care about is money, that she's, giving him a bribe, and so there's this back and forth conversation. This is a film where it's like an onion. There's layer after layer after layer. There's twist after twist after twist, and you think that you have figured out what everyone's motive is, and you think you've figured out what the events are, and they keep rehashing things and more flashbacks, and you find another layer to people's motivations, and that's the kind of film it is. So really intriguing adaptation. They localized, I think, certain things and changed. Badla takes place in Scotland, of all things. The film is mostly in Hindi, but it's in Scotland. So this is not a foreign locale. It takes place, I guess, in Tamil Nadu. I really enjoyed Adivi's performance, and then Regina Cassandra The last Telugu film I saw her in, she had one of the parts in Awe. She was in the Hindi film Ekla Ki Kodeka To Aise Laga. She was the girlfriend of Sonam Kapoor in that film. She had a lot to do in this film. She had a whole range of emotions. She had to play someone that was cunning, who looked all distressed, that they'd been assaulted. She had to show fear. She had to show anger. She was pitting wits against Adivi's character. It was quite, but in thinking back, now that I know that this is based on sort of the same story that Badla did, I do think Taapsee Pannu in this similar kind of role did a slightly better job, but I think Regina did a fine job. Naveen Chandra plays Ashok, who plays the police officer. So at first you get a very negative view of him, and then he also goes through a lot in the various flashbacks and whatever. We find other aspects to his character. Murli Sharma plays, I don't want to spoil it, but he plays a key supporting role. And then there's a young actor, Nihal Godati, who I thought he has a small role as a young man named Adarsh, and I thought he did a really good job as well. But to me, the standout performance was Adivi Sesh. I just thought he was so good. So which showed me that Gudachari was just not a one-off. I haven't seen his first film yet, but I'm going to go back and look for that. But anyway, I'm looking forward to every other film that Adivi does. I think he's such a great new talent, and I'm looking forward to seeing what his next project is going to be. This film was a debut director, Venkat Ramji, and for a debut film, really incredible. It was an under 2-hour film, which is, it's not the kind of film that had songs or montages or anything. So all of that kind of extra time thing that can lead to extra time in a film was not there. And especially for a crime thriller, I think a shorter runtime, a tighter story is better. I thought he did a really good job. Maybe Badla overall was a better film. That was a more experienced filmmaker. But I think for a debut, I hope this gets all the success, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what this person is going to do next. So the director, Venkat Ramji, wrote the screenplay with Aburi Ravi doing dialogues. So really good adaptation. Now that I've seen how once we get to the end of the films, and there were certain parts where I was like, okay, I'm at a remove. I'm not feeling that emotional connection to, I'm not going to say which character. But then the ending had quite the emotional impact. And in fact, it had a stronger emotional impact on me than the ending of Badla. So I will just say that. And I really liked what he did with Adivi's character. I liked how his dialogues were written, and how he just seemed so cynical and only about money and everything. Just how we saw different aspects of him over the course of this conversation that he has with Regina's character in this hotel room. Really good. I highly recommend that you check out this film in theaters. And I like the title too, Evaru, which means who, and it just kind of, in Telugu, which has a lot of, once you see it, you understand. It's kind of like, who did it? Who done it? So, if you had a chance to see this film, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Subscribe here to Pardesi Reviews, and if you hit the bell when you subscribe, then you'll never miss another film review or trailer reaction.